You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, it sure would be nice to do one of these shows where the Astros remembered how to win a baseball game. But unfortunately, the Astros have forgotten how to win baseball games as they play the Oakland Athletics. And oh, what do you know? They've just dropped a series to a team that you go into it looking and saying, hey, this should be a series victory at home on top of it. But what do you know? The homestand has gone in the wrong direction for the Astros as they lose again. And the only way to salvage this thing is with Framber Valdez on the mound on Thursday, to try and wrap this thing up without it being a clean sweep. Hello and welcome tonight to the Locked On Astros Postcast. I am your host, of course, Michael Connor. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. As always, if you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and come on in here and, join us almost every single day when the Astros play a baseball game. We also do Rockets, Texans, and Cougs. I'll remind you a little bit more about that in just a bit. I'll also remind you real quick that tomorrow, day game 110, in all likelihood, we will not have a show, but I will not make a proclamation either way. I'll keep you updated on if we'll be able to pull off a show tomorrow in the middle of the day or not. Tonight's show is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. So it's been a frustrating couple of days to watch as Astros fans. It's not like tonight offensively they were horrible, but it's not like they were good either. You go look at the numbers that we always like to look at: 4 for 9 runners in scoring position, left 6 men on base, yada yada yada. Tonight's story to me was really about Hunter Brown. He wasn't very good. He set the Astros up to be in a very tough spot. He left some inherited runs out there, is what it is. Or excuse me, he didn't leave inherited runs, whatever. He did, but those weren't on him. Overall, I just didn't think he was very good. His command wasn't unbelievable. He wasn't very pitch efficient. This is a guy that's been dominant for them all season long. And this is kind of the same thing we've said with the A's for quite a while. This A's team might not be good. And maybe I should take the blame for myself. I'm wearing my Locked On shirt tonight. See? Locked On. But it's green and yellow. I just realized that. Maybe I shouldn't have worn the green and yellow. My bad, guys. Sorry that Locked On's colors are green and yellow. They're not Oakland fans. I promise you that. But the A's team is just downright pesky. They're not in a good spot when it comes to a team that you want to play. They've done this to multiple teams. They've done this to the Mariners at times. We've watched that. They've done this to other teams that are contending, which, by the way, as we are doing this show live, looks like the Astros will be dropping a game in the American League West tonight. The Mariners are throwing a no-hitter so far through 4 innings. It's only 4 innings. 3-0. Seattle is up on the Padres in the top of the 5th in that baseball game. I will pull up my MLB TV and give you guys updates if there's anything worth updating in that one. Look, the division is not wrapped up. We know that. The division is something that we all assume is going to be an easy victory to get. I still believe that they will find their way easily to winning the American League West because I don't think the Mariners are going to put together some crazy hot streak, but this is baseball, and baseball, as I always like to tell you guys, does dumb, stupid things sometimes, and that could mean a team that is so awful at hitting the baseball gets hot for 2 weeks and puts it together and makes it a race. And the Astros, you would think, again, maybe they'll beat some teams that they're supposed to beat in this month. They've got the Angels after this series. They should beat the Angels. but I can't guarantee you that. They go to San Diego. You'd like to think that you can get yourself some wins out there against the Padres as well. Then they got the Angels again, and then it's off to the Mariners at home, Guardians to finish the season. Man, I'm telling you, you're running out of days, and we've done a lot of these shows lately where we have talked about, the Astros, the division record. Can they get to the second best division record? Could that series against the Guardians mean something at the end of the season? And the more days you let go by on the calendar, today's the 11th. The season ends on what date was it? What was the date? It was the 29th. To make up the amount of ground that you have behind them now, which is a lot. 6 games in the loss column. Is that right? 6 games in the loss column. And 7 games in the win column. 6.5. They're not getting there. It would take Cleveland cratering down the stretch, and it would take the Astros going on a 10-game winning streak at this point to get to the second spot. So, I guess you could say that, hey, at least you'll be set up in that final, series of the season against Cleveland, to where you know what you are and what you aren't going to need. And, in that spot, you don't have to burn through certain guys or whatever. So there's that, I guess. But I would have always, I think everybody else, which, by the way, it is through 5 now. The Padres have no hits against the Mariners through 5 innings. But I would have preferred that final series mattered, and that the Astros were playing for the second best division record, but they can't even worry about that now. They cannot even worry about that right now. They just did everything bad tonight. Overall, they just played frustrating baseball. It's not the end of the world. I haven't even checked the comments section tonight live on the show. Don't sit here and tell me that they're the worst team ever. Don't sit here and tell me that they're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. You don't know. I don't know. It is all a big fat guess. We can go off how they played tonight, which is poorly. They played poor baseball tonight. You have no idea what's about to happen in October, because October is the most unpredictable thing, and I will keep going to it because it is the truth. Remember the 2019 World Series? Yeah, that's how unpredictable it is. Remember last year when the Rangers and the D-backs played each other in the World Series? Yeah, both teams 80 wins, 85 wins or something. The lowest win total between two teams. You don't know. Don't get yourself in a tizzy. Don't completely lose your mind tonight. Be frustrated by it. I'm frustrated by it. I'm tired of watching them lose games that I feel like they should go into and win. But convincing yourself that the sky is completely falling tonight would be silly, to say the least. Because it's not falling. Tomorrow, the sun will come up. I think the sun's going to come out in Houston. All these days of clouds and whatnot. It's been kind of gross. It'd be nice to get back to some sun, but the sun's going to come up. You're going to wake up, God willing, and do your thing. Go through your day. Maybe not think about the Astros all day long. And then before you know it, you're going to sit down and watch baseball tomorrow afternoon. And maybe, just maybe, they'll win a baseball game. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll convince yourself that, hey, all is not over. Things do feel better. And I think that has a pretty decent chance of happening with, of course, the man on the mound tomorrow being Framber Valdez. We have not talked about the man that left the baseball game tonight. We do not have an update on him just yet, other than what they said the discomfort was. Jose Altuve leaves the game tonight. How big of a deal is this? How much are you going to hit the panic button on this, which is allowed? We'll get to all of that next here in the Locked On Astros Postcast. Maybe tomorrow night you're looking to get out to the baseball game. And you know how you're going to get those tickets? I know how you're going to get those tickets. You're going to download right now the Gametime app, where you can not only get sports, you can get music, whether that's concerts, whether it's the theater. You can get comedy shows. You're looking for a big event that has tickets that have to be sold to it. The Gametime app is where you are going every single time. Trust me on this. You're going to absolutely love it. I'm telling you. Get you into that game at the price you're looking for and an experience that's fantastic. Maybe you want to see where you're going to sit. Who doesn't want to see where they're going to sit? They have these seat views inside of the app to get a panoramic view of your seat before you buy those tickets. And don't forget, in the Gametime app, they also have that wonderful all-in pricing, which shows you all the pricing right at the very front with the all-in pricing. You do have to go in and turn this feature on in the app before you get there, but this shows you everything up front. That way, when you get to checkout, you're not surprised by all, the other things, fees and whatnot. They're going to tell you from the jump how much it is. That's what you get with the Gametime app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? It's game time. Locked On Astros Postcast tonight here on a Wednesday night. Thank you for joining me, your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to our channel here tonight, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. When you do that, you will be getting the notifications. You'll be able to join us whenever we go live on this channel, which is after Houston sports teams play games. That means the Astros. That means the Rockets. That means the Texans. That also means the Cougs. And don't forget that this channel will be busy again this weekend. Friday night, we'll be up late for a little Astros After Dark. Saturday, we'll be watching some Cougs and Rice Owls for the Bayou Bucket. Do a postcast for that. And then more late night West Coast baseball for the Astros this weekend on this channel to wrap up on Saturday. Sunday, we'll have mid-afternoon baseball with the Astros, and then we will have the Texans and the Bears on Sunday Night Football. And don't forget, on that show, Sunday night, making his season debut on the Locked On Texans postcast, Wade Smith, former Texans lineman, will join me for those shows. Very happy to have him along and to get this thing going with him this season. Should be an absolute blast talking Texans football and when they should be 2-0 because they're playing the Chicago Bears Sunday night. Hey, don't forget that if you're looking for this show in its podcast form, go ahead and search for the Locked On Astros show. When you do that, anywhere that you get your podcast for free, you'll get this show and the Locked On Astros show. The guys, Brett and Eric, do a wonderful job. Make sure you check out what they do on a daily basis and also go and subscribe to their YouTube channel as well. We're one big happy family when it comes to Astros coverage here, and we appreciate you guys watching both of our content, their content and this content right here on the channel. I absolutely do appreciate it. Hey, the man that left the baseball game tonight, Jose Altuve, that was no good, right? It's like all of a sudden, he's gone. I was kind of working on some things on my computer here. I've got the game on one screen here where I've got the Mariners game now, which, by the way, the update is still 3-0 in the bottom of the fifth as we do this show. Those of you watching after it's been done live and after that Mariners game is finished, sorry for the updates of a game that you already know the score to. It is what it is. But I'm sitting here watching, and like you can do in a baseball game, you look away for a couple seconds, you're listening still, you got your ear to it. But the Astros all of a sudden have a big defensive change, and the outfield's completely reconfigured, and Mauricio Dubon is over there, at the at second base. And Altuve had that swing where he looked like he tweaked something. The Astros called it right. Hold on. Let's take a guess. What's the Astros' favorite word? Ding, 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 ding. You got it right. Discomfort. Right side discomfort for the Astros second baseman. That could mean his right shoulder, his right elbow, his right hand, his right hip, his right knee, his right ankle, his toes on his right foot, his right heel, his right calf, his right hamstring, his right quad. Am I missing any? Did I cover all the right side? The injuries it could be? What's the I should know this, the one back here. Whatever it is. Could be just right side of his back. Could be any of those things. His right fingers, his right hand, his right arm in general. Maybe it's his right ear. Right cheek? Any of them. And it could be both cheeks, cheek and cheek. Maybe we'll get an answer at some point. But when it comes to the Astros and injuries, you guys know how that goes. They didn't say anything. Real quick, from the Astros post-game press conference, actually. This was just tweeted out by Brian McTaggart and Chandler Rome. There was an injury-related news for the Astros that he told them about, the media about. Chas McCormick has a fracture in his right hand. He is going on the injured list. So Chas McCormick, who had some good swings recently, goes down. He left the game, last night? Crashed into that wall on the foul ball. It turns out there's a fracture there. But Joe Espada didn't, this according to Brian McTaggart, Espada didn't seem concerned about Altuve, who was getting treatment. He's day-to-day, he said. Well, you can go ahead and lock it in. Jose Altuve is not playing tomorrow, which is fine. Whatever. As long as Fromber goes out there and deals. But if that doesn't happen, then you'll probably be a little bit upset about it. But hopefully that's the truth. Hopefully Joe Espada is telling you what is actually going on, is that it's not something that you should be overly concerned with, because if the Astros lost Jose Altuve for an extended period of time, we know this, they would be screwed. They're already screwed enough. I don't love it so far. I mean, look, Kyle Tucker had a good pinch hit single tonight to make it a one-run game, but I don't think that you're going to be able to rely on it. And then they're taking him out the pinch run as well immediately. Like, relying on him with his shin is just not going to be 1,000% this year. Bregman's been dealing with the elbow and whatnot. The lineup can't afford to lose Jose Altuve for any period of time. So it is a little bit like, oh, God, please figure this out. Don't be seriously hurt. That would be a problem, an absolute problem for the Astros. They don't have an everyday second baseman to play for him. They don't. They put Mauricio Dubon over there, who's got a good glove at second base, got a good glove everywhere he goes, but he's been atrocious at the plate for months now. So I'll take Joe Espada at his word right now. Nothing too serious, nothing to be concerned about based off of what Brian McTaggart tweeted. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they're not lying to us. Here is what Chandler Rome just tweeted about it. He said, with the caveat that he hadn't spoken to the Astros trainers yet, which those guys are a bunch of liars, Joe Espada sounded optimistic about Jose Altuve. He said he's not concerned. He said he's not concerned it's an oblique. That's the word I was looking for, oblique. So that's a good thing. An oblique injury would be a problem because he would probably be out for quite a while. So we shall see exactly what it is and when he gets back out there. It's the Locked On Astros Postcast. We will continue the discussion on this team. We'll get to continue the discussion on what tomorrow is. I bet you, if you've been watching these shows, you can take a guess at what tomorrow is, and we'll tell you exactly what it is if you don't know what tomorrow is next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Right now, I want to tell you about PrizePicks. I love PrizePicks. I have a lot of fun playing PrizePicks. NFL season's back. I enjoy playing the football, whether it's at the pro level or the collegiate level as well, whatever it might be in anything that I'm doing. But the pro level with PrizePicks is a whole heck of a lot of fun. Don't forget as well that basketball will be back soon. I'm a big fan of playing basketball on PrizePicks. I just love points, rebounds, assist totals every night. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. September, they got something great coming on. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on PrizePicks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard to get you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because when September ends, it's gone. PrizePicks, like I've mentioned, they put you first as the member, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Locked On Astros Postcast on a somber night, on a Wednesday night, because the Astros lost a baseball game again. They've dropped a series to the Oakland Athletics, and they had Jose Altuve leave hurt, which, again, if you missed that, does not sound overly concerning based off of the way that Joe Ibotta apparently was talking after the game. As we do this show, my people, your update right now on the Padres is that they are still being no-hit with 1 out in the 6th. Brian Wood, at this point as we're doing this show live, has thrown 58 pitches in the bottom of the 6th. And he's just chucking fastballs, honestly, right down the middle, and the Padres are just missing them. Astros likely to drop a game in the American League West. Lead will go to, 3.5 on the Mariners. So don't pucker too much. Just give it a day or two. If it continues to get worse, then okay, I'll let you pucker. I'll let you freak out a little bit. You'd like to get back. You built a 5.5 game lead. 6-game lead, 6.5-game lead at one point. I'd like to get back to that. I really would. Like to be comfortable. I'm a big fan of being comfortable. Who doesn't like to be comfortable? I am comfortable with one thing. I'm comfortable with 2 things, actually. One is telling you one of my favorite things to tell you. Guess what tomorrow is? Tomorrow, must win for this club. Simple. They need a win. And when you need a win, in my book, it goes down as a must win. And that's what tomorrow is, for the Astros. So must win. And when you have a must win situation, you need to turn to one man. This is the life of the ace. When things go bad for your club, you are going to end any sort of streak that you're on when that guy comes around. It's kind of, I was watching the Greg Maddux documentary that they did on MLB Network recently, and that's kind of what they talked about in there for when Maddux was a free agent after he left the Cubs. As, he had a bunch of teams bidding on him left and right. He really thought he was going to be a Yankee for a minute. But the Braves were deciding on spending big between him or Barry Bonds. And the Braves said, we got to get – Bobby Cox said, I want him because if I have a guy like that on the mound, I'll never have a losing streak. And that's kind of where Fromber is at in terms of expectation level. And honestly, with the way he's pitched this year, that's what he is. And that's what a true staff ace does. You go out there and you stop streaks. Mariners, Brian Woob now, by the way, threw 6 no-hit innings against the Padres. So no-hitter watch is officially on. He's got 9 outs to go in that one. The Astros, though, need him, absolutely need him to go out there and stop the little skid tomorrow. And he's playing an Oakland team that he's seen a lot. They've seen him. But it's an Oakland team that you can go out there and shut down. They're still not a good baseball team. They got plenty of guys in that lineup that won't hit if you just do your thing. And for me, have an expectation level for Framber when he goes out there like that, hey, that's your job tonight. Stop the skid. And I'd imagine that Framber Valdez will get that done for the Astros once again. As I mentioned earlier, I won't confirm or deny. I will say more likely than not, we will not have a show after the 1:10 game tomorrow. It's going to be very tricky with my new world that I live in since I've left radio forever, by the way. That's the plan. Never coming back. Don't want to. It's a little tough sometimes to pull off a day game. So I'll let you know if I can do it. Probably be about an hour after the game, and then we can knock that out. Appreciate you guys for joining me here tonight. Hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. Don't freak out too much. Don't stress yourself out about it. Yeah, I'm frustrated too. We'll talk about a win here again soon. Appreciate you guys joining us right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast.